So I'm excited to be here. I'm actually the CEO of another company, and I don't know if you know, uh, Slack was born out of another company. It was a gaming company. Discord was born out of another company. It was built for something else, and it ended up being bigger than the original company. So the company I'm the CEO and founder of is VDX.TV. It's an ad tech company, and we've had between 300 and 800 people globally distributed. And I started the company about 25 years ago, and it is a fiercely competitive space. And on top of that, the environment has changed. How people consume media has changed, and so we've had many death experiences. And and so this product, and I'm going to give a demo of it, of what we think of an intranet, a demo of our intranet in that company. And this is the first time I'm showing it. So I know there was a panel yesterday about the future of intranet. I think this will give you some ideas of what the potential of that can be. So, I think we need to ask, what is the purpose of an intranet? And I feel, I'm talking from the founders and the CEO's perspective. Okay, we have a company, things are changing, and I explained this to our organization, why we need to change. And I use this example of surfing. So in surfing, my kids surf, and it is very hard to catch a wave. And so I think of an organization on a surfboard where you have a bunch of people and they need to move and mobilize. And this is what I felt. Our organization was inflexible. We could not move, and these waves would be coming. And you want to catch these waves. And so these waves are opportunities. And if you think of startups, they see the waves way in the distance, and they form a startup. A number of startups start at the same time for the same wave, and then eventually one of them, or a couple of them, succeed. This is a good way, and what's happened is these waves, it used to be the waves don't come too frequently, but now things are changing so fast. These waves, they're coming faster and faster. There are many waves coming, and as a company, we need to figure out how to adapt. And one is to take advantage of opportunities. The other is to ensure we get out of the way sometimes. Some of these waves are going to kill our businesses. And I think all businesses need to be thinking about change like this. And I know you feel this. There's change coming so fast. What do we do? And so it's in this context that I feel we need to be thinking about, okay, how do we as a business evolve? Now, the other perspective of an organization, and this is how I describe it, is it's like a multicellular organism. And inside of it, the cells are individual people, and we need to be much more fluid inside. And multicellular organisms have evolved over hundreds or billions of years, and they die, they mutate, and a new organism forms. And what has happened through that evolution is we built nervous systems, and it's to deal with communication inside and environment outside. And the organisms have built, especially humans or other advanced animals, very advanced communication systems. And I think organizations need to do the same thing. They need to build very advanced communication systems internally to deal with the people and to deal with the challenges outside. And so I think an intranet is a piece of this. Companies do die and they form and people leave and they take ideas with them. But, if you have a company, you need to be thinking about, okay, how do we change our DNA? And how do we build an advanced communication system inside the organization? And so this is how I think of the importance of an intranet. But I think an intranet is only one piece of the advanced communication system. It is all information. It is how do we structure information, whether it's in chat or it's in email or it's in files. How do we structure information? And so I want to give an example of a concept, the way I explain it. In our company, we have lots of clients, and I think of each client as a kitchen. And if you walk into a kitchen and it's disorganized, you cannot be productive. And if you say there's one client and there's a kitchen and then you don't know where things are, maybe you can't even find, people have actually shared information over email, you can't find information, or it's stored in the wrong place, you get disengaged. You're like, I cannot help you. And what you want is kitchens that are very, very well organized. You walk into a kitchen, you can be very productive immediately. And so this is how all kinds of entities in a business need to be very well organized. So if you've never worked on that client or anything, you walk in, you can be productive immediately, you can find all the information. You know, for example, in which drawer you need to have a chat with someone, or in which drawer all the files are stored. It's not like, spoons are in one drawer and you can't find it. So this is how we need to think about how to make people very productive. So we started this journey about 6 years ago, and you see what happened. So the blue is people's view of our intranet, and the orange at the bottom, can you go back? The orange is people actually editing. What you see in the beginning is what our intranet looked like, and it was a couple dozen people creating content, which is the orange, which you hardly see, and then few people viewing it. I would say it was dead. And then we changed things, and what you don't see on this slide in the orange is what we have today is 100% of people are creating content in our intranet. And this concept, previously we had this idea that, okay, some people created like a communication team and other people consume it. But I changed my view on that, and I felt like everybody in the company needs to they need to be a producer of information. It's not like some people, they're not going to be engaged if some people are creating and other people are consuming. And that's what's happened. On a weekly basis, 100% are on the platform. So I'm going to start with the demo. And so this is the live. This is our live in this other company, the ad tech company, the live platform of what it looks like. Can you go ahead? I think we can't see it. So I'm going to start with showing you what a kitchen looks like for okay, so this is what the platform looks like. I'm in our client spaces, and in the menu, it's a little hard to see. You can see different teams. So we have clients in all kinds of industry verticals, and we have teams that focus on it. So automotive is one of the verticals. And then, so let's go to the automotive vertical team. And now you see this is a vertical team, and it is structured. All the vertical teams are structured the same. And on the left-hand side, it's structured the same. And you can click on the client list, and it will show you. And so what we do is we pull information from Salesforce. So you don't even have to log into Salesforce. You find all the contextual. So these are all our clients. Oops. Can you go back to the client list? So these are all our clients in the automotive vertical. And you'll see, for each of them, you'll see the Slack channel, the box folder, and a space. And we can go to one of these spaces, and they're all organized the same. Again, the kitchen concept. And within a space, actually, could you go to the, yeah. So within a space, you can see who are the people working on it. And there will be a Slack channel. So we don't let people create Slack channels. They are all created and consistently, so you know where to have the conversation. Anybody in the company can have a conversation with that team. There's, yeah, it's okay. We don't have to show the Slack channel. So there's a box folder. Inside the box folder, it's structured. So you know, if we need to create presentations, they're in one folder. If they're, insertion orders, if there are any marketing materials, everything is structured. So you walk in, you can find where the information is. So there's team members, there's orders that we receive. Now, if you go back to the vertical team, what we've also done is integrated our finance. We use Pigment as our financial planning. And so instead of having people log into Pigment, what happens is it pulls information live from Pigment, and it's contextually relevant. So it's all the automotive data available to that team or anyone in the company. They can see it. They can see the data just the way it is rather than talking to the finance team. So the way to think of this is we are pulling information from external sources like Salesforce, all these tools we use, our internal apps, and making it contextually relevant so there's no hurdles to actually getting to the information. So the next thing I want to show is a different kind of kitchen. So we in our company have lots of apps. Lots of companies. You work with lots of applications, and so there's this pull down for apps, and these are the apps we use in our company. There's third-party apps. There's our own proprietary apps. So one of them, I'll use the Rippling, which is our HR tool. You go to any of these apps, and they're structured the same. And on the homepage is all these videos we create. They're 1 to 2 minutes or 1 to 3 minutes, and they say how to use this in our organization. So anytime we have an app, it's very easy to find out how to use. You can answer all your questions, and so we can go to another one. You can see, for instance, Concur, and it's similarly structured. So it makes it very easy to find. So the thinking, it needs to be, how do you structure information so it's easy to find information, but more importantly, it's easy to create information. So if you have anything you want to say about it, you know where to go and put it. So the next one is offices. Offices are similar. Every office, you go to the office, all the information related to that office is there. Who are the people, what to do, all of this stuff. So now I'm going to go back to the home page. So the home page is customized for each individual. And there's a bunch of panels that show up, and you can change these panels, change the order, pick different panels. And it shows things like your own plan, what are you supposed to work on, kudos, your feed, all the information customized to you based on what you've selected, people in the organization, these are anniversaries, birthdays, revenue, your work, what you're doing on. So it's a starting point, but it's all embedded in the whole tool. So the next, what was the next thing? I think the next thing is on the right-hand side, you have your own space, but there are these tools I want to show you, and one is called My VSCM. So in our company, one thing that's very important is alignment. You want alignment with what we are doing as a company, and what each team is doing, and what are you doing. And so VSCM stands for vision, which is our 4-year plan, strategy, which is 2 years, and executions is what we're getting done in the next 6 months, and metrics that measure that. And so these are all the teams in our company broken down. And you can go to a particular team, and then you can see their VSCM, and their pillars that are aligned with the whole company, and their executions. And these executions, they have a charter page, and many of them are tied to Jira as well. And so anybody can go to any team, and the teams, they create this. And so, it's totally transparent to everyone what each team is doing, and there needs to be alignment between all the teams. And then so you can see what you're working on, and you can sort this in many orders. There's priorities, there's what's actually getting done, what's in progress. So it helps get productivity from the whole team, but gets people actually producing stuff. So the next one is called the org map. And in our organization, I look at it as, you have self-organizing teams, and you want to know who's on a team. And so this is how we organize crafts. Crafts are like functions. And then there are vertical teams, which I showed you initially. And then a craft, you may have like creative design as a craft. These are all the members of the craft. On the right-hand side, you have roles. And you click on a role. And this is important, with roles, what you want is clear accountabilities and responsibilities. And so these are all the accountabilities. So you can go into a team, you can see who is leading a particular role and what are they responsible and accountable for. Again, this is transparent to everyone. And in our company, we also have rotational leadership. So people there's roles where somebody is elected for 6 months or 12 months, and they have a tour duty on that role, but it's clear to everyone who's accountable, and you can go find them. And then the last thing is a plan. So everyone, instead of sending out status reports, they need to be thinking about what are they going to work, and it's all tied to their vision and strategy and executions. And so this is a plan, and it's by week. And so every week you say, what am I planning to do this week? What did I actually get done, and how do I plan for next week? And this, again, is transparent to everyone, but it's really for you. It's for you to plan, make sure it's aligned with the vision, and so so it really helps us be much more productive. And I have no idea how we got work done before this. So it's just a good view of how things could work. So I wanted to open up for questions. You can ask, I can demo any other aspect of it. So.
I'm sorry, how mobile friendly, this is fascinating, how mobile friendly is this versus just a desktop? And especially when you're getting into work, that last portion you showed where it's, deliverables, if you're working remotely or something, or you can say, okay, this person is working on this, and you can see how well.
Yeah, so it's built.
Work?
It's also built so you can view it on your phone. It's easier to consume it on your phone. It's harder to produce information.
Any other questions for Dilip?
Or thoughts?
Can you talk through the communications capabilities? So if there's an important message,
Okay, yes.
an annual ethics training you need everyone to complete, and also maybe user-generated content.
So this feed is where you see important information. Anybody can announce any information. So say there's the engineering team, they need to announce something. People are part of the engineering team, so they will get that in their feed. It'll be announced on the home page. So you just go to the home page and you say, I want to make an announcement. I'm announcing this wiki page or whatever it is, and it will automatically show up in this thing. We also, that home page is sent out to you 2 to 3 times a week. So in email, so you see it, and then it pulls you back in. So you can see all this information, and then if you want to read it, you got to click, and it takes you back. So this is another way we bring you back in. So announcements, they are important, but we enable, people are mostly announcing, HR and all announce stuff, but all teams, and if you're interested in a particular space, you can say this is my space, and then you'll get any announcements about that space. Yeah, these are philosophical decisions, and they're cultural. And I think at some level you have to be like, okay, what is more important? Is it more important that everybody is producing information? And I have this view that if if I showed you the surfboards, if you want to be able to survive, you need the best out of everybody. And I believe they should be doing their work out in the open, and they should be producing information related to their work. And then people are interested in what their coworkers are doing. And we have an attitude, and one of our values is help each other grow. And so the idea is you are by putting everything out there, you're helping other people learn. And then you're learning, and it's been hugely beneficial. People learn from each other, and they're all well-intentioned. I mean, I think that's also a cultural thing. How do you get people, you know, they all kind of know, okay, this is where the direction we're going in, and, you know, how do I contribute?
Any other questions for Dilip?
So if we are in the exhibition floor, I can walk you through the demo, we can walk you through anything, we can ask any questions. What it would take to do something like this in your organization. I know, you know, this is highly customized for our organization. You know, if you look at it, oh, you know, we, our company, we have brands, we have these kind of teams, and then we use all these particular tools, like Box. But we previously used to use Teams, and then we switched to Slack. And I think that's how you need to think about it. These are all the tools we use, internal, external, and this is the structure of our company. How do we organize it in a way that people can be hugely productive? And so I think all those analogies I give are a good way. It's a good way for me to think about it. It's a good way for organization to think about it. It's just a good way to think about how do you build an advanced communication system for your company to be agile and survive all the change. All right, thank you.